Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 798, man, we're getting close. We're going to talk about Grazilaxx, Illithid Scholar. I do apologize, I have been kind of out of it for a little bit, but I am back. So there's a couple different ways to go with Grazilaxx here. For 3 mana, we get a 3/2 horror. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Now that is a sweet, sweet ability. I'll admit I kind of focused a little harder on the second ability than I did the first, but we have several different ways to win. The very first thing that came into my mind was small unblockable creatures. If they can't be blocked, they're going to deal combat damage. People don't really mind the onesie twosie that much. I'm just hitting you draw a card, and so that's the thing. So Mistcloak Herald, Goodwill Lurker, Phantom Warrior, almost said Phantom Menace, Phantom Ninja, Invisible Stalker, River Sneak, Slitherblade, Triton Shorestalker, Vidalcan Infiltrator, and then yet another way to win. Now, Blighted Agent is the only infect creature in the entire deck, I do believe. But counting to 10 is way easier than counting to 21 or 40. And let's face it, we're not going to be counting to 21 in this particular deck. Grazilaxx just probably isn't going to get there. I mean, it could. But the Black Blade reforged either on the commander or the infect guy kind of makes it a thing. That's just like an accidental win condition. But we're drawing all those cards. We gotta have the Psychosis Crawler in there, right? And we also have kind of a slight milling theme with Jace's Erasure, Court of Cunning, and that awesome Maddening Cacophony. Love this card. But let's get into our ramp, shall we? We have Wayfarer's Bauble. We don't have green, so we got to take the ramp wherever we can get it. Worn Power Stone, Mind Stone, Silver Mirror, High Tide, Everflowing Chalice, Cisse's Ring, Unstable Obelisk, Sky Diamond, Palladium Mirror, and Surveyor Scope. I really kind of like Surveyor Scope. It's possible that you can miss on it. It's totally possible. But now, card draw, here again, our commander has a certain amount of card draw built in if we can make contact with creatures. But with things like, just regular card draw, Brainstorm, Compulsive Research, I like Curious Obsession on one of those can't be blocked guys. I'm not going to lie. Diminishing Returns in Jace's Archivist kind of made me go the mean route and put in Narset. But Coastal Piracy, there again, does the same thing. Now, once you start drawing multiple cards off of the same creature, that's when you start to get people's attention. It's Reconnaissance Mission, same thing. To go along, let's look at the rest of the creatures. There's not that many here. Manowar. Now, these are the kind of the first line of Grazilaxx with the, if it gets blocked, you can bounce it. Manowar is kind of the ultimate, reuse, as well as Peregrine Drake. Ophidian this was the very first card that was ever printed with damage equals cards, although with Ophidian you had to give up the damage in order to get the card. Thieving Skydiver, when it enters the battlefield, it's a good trigger that you can, if it gets blocked, you can bounce it back to your hand. So I like that you can send it out to what appears to be a run that's going to get it blocked and killed, and then it just bounces back, and then you get to do it all again. Baron there doesn't like to be in the box. Good ETB effect there again. I have some weird stuff here. Turmoid's Crypt and Turmoid's Crypt Keeper kind of go with that mill strategy, I guess. Yeah, these are just random. Sleep. I mean, sleep wins games. Well, sleep kills players. Maybe not wins games, but it does, in fact, eliminate players. Because if you can... Whoever the bully at the table is... I say bully. I don't really mean that. Whoever the big force is at the table... You know, if they've got a bunch of dinosaurs or a whole bunch of creatures, you can tap them down effectively for 2 passes of the table. And most of the time, table politics will take care of that opponent. Mirror Mockery. Since we're going to, you know, whenever enchanted creature attacks, now obviously you want to put this on one of the unblockable ones. Frozen Ether, I mean, you know, it ruins haste, but causing them to have to wait a turn for blocking is kind of cool too. Sunken Hope's another good one. Everybody returns a creature. I don't mind returning Man of War over and over again, but they are, you know, not in the same boat. Of course, Undo. Solve the equation to go find that instant or sorcery, whichever one you need. Same thing with Drift of Phantasms. Deja Vu, get it back. Relearn, get it back. Call to Mind, get it back. And then Part the Water Veil. I mean, I hear taking extra turns is kind of good. But let's look at some removal. In blue, I mean, we have Rapid Hybridization. And then pretty much bounce and counter, right? I mean, we have Spell Pierce. Negate, counter spell, spell crumble. Yeah, I know. I didn't have a tunnel vision to go with it. I know. It makes Danny sad. The psychic impetus and Vow Flight, you know, as long as they're not attacking me, they're not my problem. The commit to memory. I mean, both sides of this can come in handy. And then the distorting wake, just to bounce away the problem. You know, what is that? Prevent static link. You know, I've only got 4 non-basic lands. You know, the Rogue's Passage, just in case we can get there with Grazilaxx. You know, it could happen, it could not. Who knows? And then the 3 cycling lands: Lonely Sandbar, Desert of the Mindful, and the Remote Isle. Now, what I have noticed, I did have a chance to play this deck, and I think Chris may have played it too. I'm not sure, but I noticed it had it has some serious card draw ability, but now the once the Psychosis Crawler comes out, people kill it. Because you're drawing cards, and once that comes out, people instantly realize that's a threat. So we're going to put $7.98 on the wall. Man, that's not... 2 more decks, or, well, 1 more deck until we get to 800. Since Grazilaxx was the second to the last AFR, there's only 1 D&D deck left. You can pretty well guess what it is. Anyway, that is what I've got for today. I do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. And once again, I do apologize. Had some things come up, and we're all good now. But I do appreciate it. And I have got patrons. Keep an eye out on your mailbox. Just something you might want to do in the next... I mailed it yesterday. Yeah, in the next week or so. May take a little longer for you overseas folks to get it. But, I mean, that's just the way it is, right? But anyway, that is what I have got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.